fabulous point you bring up, because in medicine, I've learned that as well. If I go out to a synagogue or a church and just give a talk to 20 or 30 people, in my heart, I feel like I've been more effective in communicating my message, as opposed to putting an Instagram picture of a colon polyp that I removed to prevent cancer,
Right.
which is fabulous, that's great, but that small, intimate group setting, which I think folks believe they had lost with Facebook and the internet and with Instagram. What you're saying is what I believe is that small group setting. So do you suggest to your folks to go out and speak with a local church and see if they can give a talk or a community or
Absolutely.
civic center? How do you recommend they do that?
Even create their own event. They can come to a local library and use the room and just promote it within the library. There's so many people that still go to the library, and maybe they have to actually look at what their target niche is and see where they hang out, and then go and give a talk where they hang out.
Right, so being out there on the internet, certainly important. Have your face, have your information, how folks can reach you, but reaching out to the community on a face-to-face basis. And I think that's tough for some people. It's easier to hide under the guise of a Facebook page or the guise of a Instagram picture, where I tell my patients and my folks, be careful, because what's on the internet could be anything. It doesn't have to be truthful.
That's right.
It's kind of like the wall in the stall in the bathroom, where folks write for a good time call.
Right.
And it's not usually a real number, correct?
Absolutely.
That's what I tell folks about the internet.
I didn't try that.
Right. But, that's how I educate my patients
Sure.
to be very careful about the internet. And I like that. Going out there to the civic centers, libraries, if it's a physical therapist, if it's a physician, and ask for time. How easy is it to get this time? How welcoming are folks who have these types of centers to having a health or wellness professional?
Great question. Most people go out there as what's in it for me. How about reversing that? What is in it for them to allow you to be in their space? Will you publicize their space? I've done events at a local winery or a local, it was nothing special as a room. It was empty, but still, they liked it because we were promoting them while we're promoting our own event. And I think everybody should think that way. We think about what's in it for me. You'll get what is for you anyway. What is it for them? Why should they support you?
So for a health and wellness professional today watching, wants to advertise, get out into their community, maybe here in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Is there a cost barrier? When you go to a library, do they charge you? If you go to a local civic center? For the folks watching here today and wondering, well, I can't afford that.
Right. There are still spaces that don't charge. So there is many ways to get also a space for free. I'll give you an example. Let's talk about a restaurant that has a back room, and the slowest night of the week is either Monday or Tuesday. Do your event on one of those days, and my preference is Tuesday, because Monday just people get back to work and so on, but Tuesday would be a good night. Now, you bring 20 people into a room that they maybe purchase a drink or food or whatever, or have never seen this restaurant before. That gives publicity to the restaurant. They pay for their own drink, their own food. The restaurant just made a little bit of money that they wouldn't have otherwise. Give them that offer. See, that's what's in it for them.
Yeah, I like that synergy there of finding a center or a place or a room in a restaurant that is underutilized possibly. Mondays are hectic, I agree. When we give talks to the community, I try to focus on weekends sometimes, out in churches or over in a synagogue to really reach people. Libraries is a fantastic idea. I think the libraries are underutilized, and New York City certainly offers a great resource for that. So once folks are out there, they're in the room, they want to present what they're doing, they're going to come to you first, I guess, to learn how to present. Because it's challenging to get up in front of people.
Absolutely. I would say first, the number one fear besides death is public speaking, and there's a reason for it. But I would say to people, don't be afraid of it. Think about being on one-on-one instead of a one-to-many. The one-to-many just gets you more business, but the one-to-one, if you're on one-to-one, you would speak about your business as talking to a friend. So think of it that way. And when you do speak, don't speak in order to sell. Speak in order to give value, information. So just talk about 2-3 points. You don't need to give the whole laundry list of everything you know. And talk a little bit about yourself, why you got into the business you are in. Get 2-3 points that will give them good value information, and then ask for any questions. So it becomes an interactive type of situation.
Right. You know, I give talks all over,
Right.
and we talk about things that maybe people don't want to talk about. I'm a gastroenterologist. And I talk
Right.
about gas and moving your bowels, but I find that once you create your list of a few key talking points, you understand your audience, get over the first couple of events. For the folks watching today, to have that confidence to get through the first couple, I think then it becomes natural.
Correct.
And then you're allowing yourself to present your business in a natural way. And I like how you explain that for our viewers. You know,
Also think of being a parent. If you are a parent and you own a business, how do you talk to your children? Talk like that to the audience.
how do you sell dinner to a 3-year-old?
Exactly.
Right? How do you sell
It's good for
broccoli
you.
to and that's important. I'll give you my what I do. Tell me some tips for our viewers today. When I'm practicing to go out and give a talk, I'll do it in the shower. I will go over my talk in the shower or in front of a mirror where I can see how I'm going to look giving the talk, and I'll do it over and over. What are some of the fun ways or things and tips that you give to folks who might have to go give a talk?
So do not memorize it. That is the first one I would say, because it looks like a script and it doesn't show your personality and bring up who you are as a person. Not only as a professional, you don't need to look professional. You just need to speak professionally from the heart. That's where people connect with you. That's the first thing I would say. I used to memorize not memorize, but just my points so that I don't forget the points, because I also have jokes in between my talks. So when I tell a joke, I just don't want to tell the same one twice. It happened before. When you're nervous, that's what happens. You sometimes repeat yourself. So just know the order of what you want to talk about. And there's nothing wrong with having a cheat sheet. A lot of people go, well, oh, they're going to think I'm not good at this because I have a cheat sheet. No, have those cue cards that you can hold in your hand even. It's not unprofessional to do it the first few times, because if you give the talk over and over again, at one point you will know it by heart.
Yes, I agree with you. That cheat sheet is not unprofessional. That shows your commitment to what you're going to talk about, so you don't miss anything. I like the idea of telling the joke twice by accident. I think that's a great joke in itself. But in the health and wellness field, we are hopefully persons. We deal with patients, but there are folks in the health and wellness field who maybe are not dealing with patients face-to-face. They're selling products, whether it be a durable medical equipment or it might be a supplement for the folks watching today. Does your enrollees, are they involved in both face-to-face contact, like patient care, and products?
Yes, they are. And it's funny you mentioned supplements. There are so many companies that do supplements. I would tell people, just get educated on that. Know the difference between the supplements. Talk to your physician and find out which one you can and cannot use, because it's not a fit for all,
Right.
It's like some people go, oh, it's good for you, then I should take it too. It's not true.
Right, I remind patients that supplements are medicines technically because they're being used to treat a disease or a ailment or to prevent something. And that's how we define medicines. And so for the folks who come to you with products, do you deal with them uniquely differently than the folks who are dealing with patients face-to-face, like a physician or a therapist?
No, because business is business. Business is, you got to get clients, you got to get paid, you got to deal with the niche that you're in and reach out to the people that are going to be able to learn from you and pay you. So, at one point or another, you got to remember that you're a business person.
We're always selling something, whether
Right.
it's to come to my office, to see me as a physician, or to buy our product. For the patients out there that are watching, who feel they're bombarded with advertisements, they're bombarded with supplement advertisements, they're bombarded with physician advertisements. Is there a way of figuring out what's credible and what's not? Is there a way of your customer who comes to you as a health and wellness professional of advertising their credibility or showing that they're a step above what our folks out on Instagram and Facebook and the internet are seeing? How does one make themselves appear as they are a credible provider or a credible product producer?
I believe that every person that owns any kind of business should have testimonials. If you have testimonials, there's a track record. If you like the person just because you were with them and they were friendly and you like them, guess what? Do your homework and just look at them up. See if they have any testimonials out there. How long have they been in business? If they've only been 2 months in business, then I don't know about too many testimonials that they're going to have. But there is a track record. And if you like them and trust them, you can definitely go to their product or service. On the flip side, though, is There are so many, like you said, there's so many. What do I do? Don't believe everything that's out there, number one, and like you said that. And number two is that, look, you already go to a physician. That means you trust that person already. Why don't you go ask him or her, what is it that you should be doing? Right. Where you should get your information and how credible is it? Check with them.
And for everyone watching today, I think that's a great piece of advice. We are bombarded with advertisements for all sorts of things that have claims, whether they're true or not proven yet. Speaking with one's physician is very important. Mm-hmm. And so to bring us full circle today, we talked about quite a bit. Right. Okay, we talked about your role in the healthcare and wellness industry, how you are bringing together folks that are involved as solopreneurs or entrepreneurs. And I really want to thank you for coming. Our folks watching today, again, please tell us where they can find resources to find you.
Mm-hmm. So one of them is the hwncc.com or orlyamor.com. All the companies that I'm involved with are there as well. And just a little note, I lost 231 pounds. And although I got all these products presented to me, there was only one way for me to find out what's going to be good for me. Mm-hmm. And I went to my doctor for that. And that's why I gave that advice.
So that's some special relationship you have. You obviously, I can hear from you that you trust your physician. Yeah. Building trust in a physician is so important. And so folks are building a trust in your company and in your industry. And with the HWNCC, they are able now to find comfort in being a provider and trying to become corporate. Yeah. And I like your advice today on how to show reliability, credibility, how to come out and speak publicly, the advice that you're able to offer people. And so they're going to go to www.hwncc.com.
Correct.
There are 3 branches here in Brooklyn, in our tremendous borough, the most fabulous borough.
Yes.
And hopefully the millions of viewers that are out there here in Brooklyn and across Manhattan will find some help in their health and wellness company or entrepreneurship and find a way of public speaking and meeting folks. And thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. Such great information. Thank you. Thank you for your interest in the show and your desire to become involved and educated. I invite you to visit our website at www.medcastplus.com and check out our tools and connect with us on social media. You can also call us at 347-618-1139. Please stay well and be safe, Brooklyn. Goodbye.